Hello, it's Ash and welcome back to my channel and welcome into your post-run stretch. Well done for showing up here for your stretch after your run. It's so easy to skip it, but well done for caring for your mind and your body. In today's stretch, we're focusing on stretches after our run for knee pain. So if you get a little bit of tightness or a little bit of achiness around that knee, we're going to focus in on some stretches in there. So what we're going to do is going to come onto your bum, we're going to stretch those legs out nice and long, and we're going to have to start by having a little bit of a bounce and a wiggle. So we warm up or just sort of soften and loosen the calves and the hamstring area. So you can't actually sort of do specific stretches at the knee joint, but what we will be focusing on is doing stretches for the muscles around the knee joint and muscles that work into, so obviously the IT band that can cause issues at the knee joint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bend that right knee a little bit and then place that left ankle area onto the right thigh. Pull the right foot up, and then we're going to slowly start to massage to the left and then to the right. Go nice and slowly, and we're working into that IT band area all the way down the outer part of that left thigh, that piriformis, TFL, glute medius area. And if that area is really tight, that can pull on the IT band down the outside of that left thigh, and it can cause issues at the outside of the knee. So it can cause pain there. Obviously, if at any point you get tenderness or pain, or if you're not sure if you have any sort of excessive knee issue at the moment, I would recommend stopping and making sure you see your doctor or your physiotherapist to make sure that you're okay to do this session. Okay, so nice and slowly breathe as we do this. Try and relax the shoulders and the jaw. So if we can, we're breathing in and out through the nose, which will help again aid our recovery process because we're fueling the body with the oxygen that it craves, which will help recovery. We're going to stretch that right leg out, bring that left foot down onto the floor. Now bring this right foot backwards like this, and we're going to have a gap between the left foot and the right knee. Now we're going to bring the hands in front over this left foot area, left leg, lower leg, and we're going to move to the left and to the right, and we're thinking about pushing that belly button down in towards that shin, that left shin. Relax the elbows and the shoulders as we move the head left and right, so the head comes over the knee and then over the foot. If it's okay, and this is not a challenge, only if your body will allow, you could go elbows down. Again, move to the left, move to the right. Make sure it's a 7 out of 10 stretch. I always remind you, because it's really important. We can get caught up in the intensity of our run and pushing, and we can take that same mindset into our running, into our stretching, and we don't want that. We're changing mindset. We're changing into a healing, recovery, kindness, compassionate towards ourselves, which will help lower our stress levels as well. So you should be feeling similar sort of area in that piriformis, TFL, glute medius around the hip, and the IT band down the outside of the thigh. And I'm going to slowly lift the head and chest, walk the hands backwards, and now we're going to work into this right side. We're pulling that right foot into the hip with the right hand. We're finding the stretch into that right quad area, going up into the top of the thigh at the hip flexors, and we're massaging. So I'm pulling the heel into the hip to a 7 out of 10 stretch, and then releasing it to about a 5 or a 4. Into a 7, then release. So massage nice and slowly. And again, you might feel this in the knee. So if you start to get tenderness or pain in the knee with this stretch, don't push into the pain. Just work up just to the point where you don't have any pain. So we're sort of teasing the body nice and kindly to just become a little bit more supple and softer, less tense. So if we've got tight quads, again, that can can sort of pull on the patella tendon and create a bit of issue at the front of the knee. So go steady, go easy on the body. Again, have that mindset of healing and recovery. Okay, now place the foot back down onto the floor. Now we're going to take the right foot a little bit further away from the right hip, because we're going to do what's called opening the gate, which is external rotation of the hip. Send the hands back. I'm going to open, keep the left knee pushing down into the floor, open that right knee up towards the sky, wherever you comfortably can. Now, you might have tightness in the groin. We're going to bring it back down and then bring it back up nice and slowly. So we're opening and then closing the gate. Nice and slow. Breathe as you do it. And as you continue to do that, I will do the thing that I like to do a lot, which is talk. So if we've got tightness in the groin, again, that could be pulling the knee inwards or the leg inwards. It could be creating a lot of alignment issues. And then also on the outer part of that hip, where we was working in the piriformis TFL, glute medius, IT band area. So we're working inside and outside of the thigh and the hip area. Keep breathing. It might start to loosen up a little bit. And if your knee doesn't go as high as mine, again, don't judge your body against my body. I've got a lot of work, a lot of years worth of mobility and stretching into my body. I do this regularly, and I obviously do it as a job, help people. Okay, so slowly as you come back down, I'm going to bring that right foot to touch the left foot. Again, we're going to get into the inner thighs. Bring the heels a little bit closer now, and then push the belly button forwards as you pull onto the toes slightly, nice and tall through the spine. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. And massage into the left hip, into the right hip. So you're going into the left bum and the right bum, nice and slowly. And that should feel like a good stretch onto the inner thigh area. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. And if you've noticed, I'm quite sweaty. I'm red-faced. It's very hot in here, and it's very hot in the UK at the moment. We're having a sort of mini heat wave, which is nice. Lovely blue skies. I've just done the first hill interval session and first real intense session since completing my 50k ultra, and it was really hot. So my heart rate was high, it was an intense session, I pushed myself, and actually I felt quite fresh today. I felt good, I felt like I could really push, and it was quite an enjoyable sort of hard session. Okay, nice and slowly, just going to stretch those legs out nice and long, have a little bit of a bounce and a wiggle, and then again you can reflect on, and I'll ask you, how was your run? How did it go? Could you tweak anything? Did it feel good? Did it feel average? Did it feel poor? So those three sort of ranges, we have a sort of rule of thirds. If you're doing your training right, you should feel a third of your runs as good, a third of them as average, and a third of them as poor. That means you're sort of in that right training zone. We're not always expected to feel good on our runs. We're not always expected to feel sort of so-so. And we definitely don't always want to feel bad on our runs. So we want to sort of feel in the thirds with each one of those. We're going to start to bring actually the left knee up a little bit, right ankle area onto the left knee, and then we're going to bring that left foot up, and then we're massaging again left and right. And straight away from me, as I roll through this, I can feel I've got a bit more tightness in this right hip, which is not usual. But I did do a strength session yesterday. I'm really focused on the glute medius muscle, so that's probably lingering from there. So again, you listen to those signals in your body, and then it's like, oh, where's that from? And then you sort of, like a detective, you go backwards and like, oh, where did this come from? And then you go back and then, oh, that's there. So it's interesting, when you listen to your body, you can figure things out. I mean, I'm not going to win Detective of the Year figuring out that my right hip is from my workout yesterday. I know that. That's a fairly easy thing to work out. Okay, we're going to bring that right leg down into the floor, bring that left foot backwards. We're going to have a gap again between the right foot and the left knee, so we can take the hands forwards over that leg, and we're going to bring the head over the right knee and then over the right foot. Push the belly button down into the thigh and the front shin area. And then maybe, again, if your body will allow, only if your body will allow, you can come down. If not, stay on your hands. Move and massage. Keep breathing. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. Again, we're working into that same area. IT band, piriformis, glute medius, TFL sort of area, outer part of the hip. Okay, and then nice and slowly lifting the head and chest. We're going to take hold of that left foot into the left hand. We're going to pulse nice and slowly with it. Heel into the hip, then release, massaging into that left quad area, left hip flexor area, and then check in with the left knee. Do you get pain with this? Again, if you do, back off, don't pull too aggressively. And if it's constant pain that's there, again, I would stop and seek medical advice, don't carry on. Keep breathing, relax the jaw and the shoulders. It should feel like a really nice, soothing massage. Okay, place the left foot back down to the floor. This time we'll just taking that left foot a little bit wider, hands back, because we're going to open the gate and then close the gate. Again, as we do that, as the left knee comes up, the right knee pushes into the floor. So we're activating the outside of the right thigh at the same time as the left, so it's not passive. Keep the elbows and the shoulders soft, wiggle them. Notice if this side goes less, about the same, or higher than the other side. And there's lots of reasons why we have imbalances in our body, the way that we spend our days. If you're a desk worker, you might sit in a certain position. You might sit in a certain position at home. You might sleep on one side more than the other. And if you imagine the amount of time that we spend doing those habits, it literally shapes our body. So that's why it's good to come and work on sort of undoing those habits that we have and trying to reshape our body more positively. Okay, this time bring that left foot to touch the right foot. Again, can bring heels in nice and close, same as we did a few moments ago, massaging left and right, and get that nice good squish. If your elbows rest on the inner thighs, they can open up that little bit further. Breathe, relax the jaw, the shoulders. Notice how your mind might have slowed down, the intensity and the buzzy feeling. I can feel that sort of, just that level of intensity is really reduced throughout this space and this time to breathe. Okay, take the hands backwards, stretch the legs out nice and long. And then we're going to give the quad, so let's go left quad first, so relax the right leg wherever it wants to, and then we're going to just turn the left toe slightly open. We're going to work into the VMO muscle, which is like the teardrop muscle, just on the inside of the thigh. So we're going to give it a good squeeze, so like we're sort of squeezing a really big toothpaste tube all the way down from sort of like the top to mid-thigh area. Just squeeze the thumbs and then work your way down all the way to the inside, so that like sort of roundy teardrop shape on the inside of the knee, and just give it a squish and then go back up. So thumbs really working into that sort of inner thigh area, fingers squeezing the outer thigh area, and you just go nice and slowly up and down. So again, massage is a great way to release tightness and tension in the fascia, so the connective tissue, and the muscle and the tendon tissue as well. If you find any particularly tight spots or stiff spots that feel a bit stubborn, again, you can just work into them, just sort of really massage and do some circles into them for say 5 to 10 seconds to soften it. And then we're going to go hands backwards, stretch the legs out. As we do that, just compare the sensations in the left thigh compared to the right thigh. Does that left thigh feel a bit looser? Let's bring the left foot up. Let's turn the right toes out so we can work again, squishing thumbs down the inside of that thigh, fingers squeezing the outer parts of the thigh. Left hand will squeeze the hamstrings at the back. So notice as we do this, do you feel the same sort of tight, tender spots in the same areas or slightly different positions. So for me, it's not as tender down towards the knee, it's a little bit more tender up towards the groin, inner thigh area at the top on this side compared to the other. Remember to breathe. Okay, and then just release. Again, stretch the legs out nice and long. Feel the after sensations of that work. All of those stretches focused on releasing the tension and the pressure around the knee, but also a great thing that you can do if you're getting knee pain regularly, there's two things that you want to check really, is making sure that you're not running, your running volume's not too high, so you're not pushing your body further than it needs to, and it might be signaling to you actually you need to just back off a little bit because you're pushing me too far. And then also you want to try and check your running form. If you're a heavy heel striker, that's going to be really impacting the knee, going to be putting a lot of blunt forces through the knee, and it's like equivalent of driving around your car with the handbrake on. You're effectively sort of blunt forcing into that knee joint all the time. So if you've enjoyed this stretch, if you could just give it a thumbs up, maybe put a comment, or put thanks for the video in the comments. And if you're interested in working with me as your coach, have a look in the link in the description below for options. Well done for being here and showing up for your knees and your body and your mind. I will see you in the next stretch. Have a great day.